Welcome back, everyone, and we are ready to share my solution to the assignment for Section 1. As you might recall, we were asked to create a Celsius to Fahrenheit temperature converter, and let me show you what I came up with for that. So I'm going to open up the idle shell and then do a file open, and let's go to my downloads folder and open the temp-convert Python program that I created for this assignment. Yours is going to vary from mine, of course, but let me walk you through my logic here and what I did. First of all, remember, it's always a best practice to document your program, and I do this, of course, with comments. So I have an initial comment of who wrote this program, and then a second comment of what this is all about. This is my proposed solution to assignment 1, of course. The next thing that I did, and I was really focused on, readability and comprehension here, as opposed to trying to do this in as few lines as possible. So I do a variable called cTempString. That's Celsius temperature as a string, and I set that equal to getting the input from the user. We say, please input the temp in Celsius as a whole number. And notice what I did, a little bit of formatting there. Notice how I add a space after that colon. So notice you'll often be doing some cosmetic techniques like this so that your program looks great when it runs, as well as being, of course, error-free and completely functional. So notice we're getting the Celsius temperature as a string value. And then I'm going to take this and convert it to an integer and store that in simply the c_temp variable. So sure, we take what we got from the end user, we convert it to an integer, and we store it in that new variable. Then I'm going to be doing my Fahrenheit temperature, and it's going to be as a float. Yeah, and this will be taking our Celsius temperature and multiplying it by 1.8 and then adding 32. Notice my use of the parentheses here. That's just to make this conversion more readable. Yeah, sure, because the multiplication is going to have priority and would take place first there. So yeah, I'm putting in the parens purely for the readability of my code. Then I'm going to come up with my Fahrenheit temperature, which is to take that float value that we got and convert it into an integer. And then finally, it's time to print our results. So I print the Celsius temperature, and I say in Celsius is, and then I print the Fahrenheit temperature and the in Fahrenheit text. And then, of course, a little thanks for using my program. So when we run this code, we are, of course, prompted, please input the temp in Celsius as a whole number. Let's say it's 24 in Celsius, and then I hit enter, and our program says 24 in Celsius is 75 in Fahrenheit. Thanks for using my program. So I hope that you went in and paid attention to things like the, way in which your program looks. Yeah, does it look good? Are there spaces where you would expect them to be? Of course, does it function properly? Are you doing your typecasting as we had to do in this example? Well, I'm sure your program is exciting like mine, and I sure hope you enjoyed this assignment, which helps us review a lot of the principles that we covered, of course, over in Section 1. Thanks so much for watching.